everybody knew that Puff took Tupac blueprint and changed Biggs and Bad Boy in.
So we knew something was going on. We just started following them.
Right. Two young paramedics
I was driving.
were working nearby.
I had been a medic for roughly 5 years.
I was 20.
Tupac Shakur's story has never stopped haunting the world. And now, shocking new claims suggest he may have pulled off the greatest escape in music history. From whispers of body doubles to secret exile in Cuba, the rumors refuse to perish. And with Diddy's empire crumbling under scandal, the timing couldn't be more explosive. The downfall of Sean Diddy Combs feels like something straight out of a movie, only this time, reality is proving stranger than fiction. What once looked like an untouchable empire built on glamour, bravado, and billion-dollar branding is now crumbling under the weight of federal indictments and explosive court filings that read more like crime thrillers than legal documents.
The other one as well. Where do you stand with what happened with Tupac? Do you think Biggie was a part of it? Do you think Puff was a part of it?
I never heard Puff say anything about doing anything to Tupac or Suge.
Right.
I've heard people around Puff say things about that, but I never. Came back downstairs, he was heated. He said, yo, Gene, I got 126 employees, and these people depend on me for their livelihoods. If these white folks thought or they would think that I had anything to do with any kind of, they wasn't gonna, and they not gonna with me. He said, I'm a businessman. I'm about making money, but something gotta change. I don't give a if Pac gotta die, Big gotta die, or Suge Knight go to jail. Something's gotta change. And he took upstairs, he turned around and walked back upstairs. And it didn't dawn on me what he said. And then my man looked at me and Bun was like, yo, that dead Big.
And as shocking as it sounds, whispers suggest he may not have just been a flashy mogul, but the mastermind tied to one of the darkest mysteries in hip-hop history, the night Tupac Shakur's reign ended in Las Vegas. Prosecutors allege racketeering, exploitation rings, and secret tapes that could put him behind bars for life. His name has reportedly surfaced nearly 50 times in sealed police transcripts connected to that fateful ambush. And while Diddy pleads innocence in a New York courtroom, one thing is clear. Former allies are finally breaking their silence.
Suge in the back of the House of Blues, Tupac was alive at the time. Tupac was in a white drop-top Rolls Royce. Suge was in a red one. We rose up to Pac. Puff tried to speak to Pac. He like, yo, what up, Pac? Pac looked at him and turned his head. Didn't say nothing to him, got right back on his phone. Riz said, yo, F him, speak to Suge. Suge is the boss. Puff said something to Suge, he said, yo, what up, Suge? He said, what's up? He said, yo, you think we got any problems out here? Suge said, I don't know no problems that y'all have. You think we good out here? He said, you should be. Suge just, I don't know any problems you got, bruh.
One insider didn't hold back, insisting that the truth is being kept under wraps to protect powerful brands. They claim those who may have been involved in Diddy's so-called sessions want to bury their secrets, because if it ever reached the public, it could destroy their entire image. That's where Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard, comes into the picture. Unlike most, Deal was there on the inside, riding in armored SUVs and watching from the penthouse suites. And now he's dropped a revelation so staggering that it makes Diddy's current charges look like just one piece of a much bigger puzzle. According to Deal, Tupac Shakur wasn't the naive hothead the media made him out to be. He was playing a deeper game. Tupac knew a setup was coming. He understood that the bounty on his head had skyrocketed, and instead of waiting to be cornered, he staged his own exit. Deal claims the rapper didn't just embrace his Machiavelli persona for music, it was a survival strategy. By deceiving his would-be executioners, he vanished from American soil and built a new life abroad under a different name. And here's the part that flips the entire story on its head. Even Diddy himself, the man who supposedly orchestrated the hit, was fooled.
He was knocking down all the women that he thought Pac was knocking down. And what I mean is having. Why would you want to have with
women you know for sure a dude that was once cool with you was different.
The hints were always there. Fans obsessed over the Machiavelli album with its eerie subtitle, The 7-Day Theory, and the cryptic line, Exit Tupac, Enter Machiavelli. Some even noticed that rearranging Machiavelli spells, Am Alive. For years, these were brushed off as morbid Easter eggs from a young man obsessed with passing. But what if they were instructions? A code from an artist who studied Machiavelli's lessons on deception and survival. If Gene Deal is right, the album wasn't a requiem, it was a plan. Then there are these strange inconsistencies in the records. The coroner listed Tupac at 6 feet and 215 pounds, but friends knew him as 5'10 and 168. The autopsy photo, with its blurred tattoos and odd angles, never convinced the public. When someone asked if this could all connect to the strange events surrounding Wendy Williams, the answer was simple: of course. Everything circles back to Gene Deal's shocking claim that Tupac wasn't blindsided that night. He saw the betrayal coming. He knew the price of staying independent in an industry where moguls pulled strings as both kingmakers and enforcers. Instead of bowing down, and with millions on his head, he flipped the script. He turned Machiavelli into more than a name. It became his blueprint for survival. Deal suggests Tupac may have built a secret life in exile, waiting for the perfect moment to return and expose the man who thought they ended him. The cracks in the story appeared early. Rumors swirled about a body double swapped into Tupac's hospital bed to stage the final act. The coroner's report didn't match, and the rushed cremation was seen as the smoking fire alarm. To some, the chaos outside the hospital wasn't panic at all. It was choreography. By the time Suge Knight walked out with bandages and shock, Tupac was already headed to a hidden runway, disappearing into the Caribbean night.
Puff and Pac was cool at one time. We know this. Mopreme said that they was gonna sign the bad boy.
And now, as Diddy sits under federal charges for exploitation and coercion, the irony is glaring. He might believe he orchestrated the perfect crime in 1996, but if Tupac is alive, it means Diddy's victory was nothing but a hollow illusion. One critic cut to the bone, describing Diddy as someone with no class, no kindness, and no heart. Just a depraved man whose world is rotten to the core. They said once this trial is over, they want to hear nothing more about him. Behind all the swirling theories, one thread keeps resurfacing: the Black Panthers. Tupac wasn't just a rapper caught in music industry wars. He was born into a family rooted in activism and rebellion. His mother, Afeni Shakur, was a Panther. His godfather was a militant organizer who spent decades clashing with federal agencies. With roots that deep, it's not far-fetched to imagine there was already a safety net waiting for him when Los Angeles became too dangerous. Some insiders even claimed the Vegas hit incident wasn't chaos at all. It was the signal for a carefully planned extraction, carried out by people who knew how to move in the shadows. And honestly, if any group had the means, discipline, and motivation to sneak him out right under the government's nose, it would have been them. What better act of resistance than protecting the voice of the most outspoken rapper of his generation? The theory gains more weight when you remember his aunt, Assata Shakur. She's still one of the most wanted women in America after escaping prison and resurfacing in Cuba. Nice claimed the whole operation wasn't some last-minute stunt. It was sanctioned. He said Fidel Castro himself signed off on it, with strict conditions for exile: stay quiet, never admit he was alive, and avoid any exposure that could pull Cuba into an international scandal. Adding to the conspiracies, one chilling comparison often gets made, just like Jeffrey Epstein. As one commentator put it, Epstein had films and tapes on powerful political figures, entertainers, and businessmen. And then they asked the question everybody knows: do you really believe Epstein ended his own life? Of course not. The parallel suggests that when the stakes are that high, the truth rarely plays out in plain sight. But here's where the story takes a darker turn. Just when Michael Nice promised to drop hard proof, news broke that he was gone. Fans who followed his interviews didn't see it as a coincidence. Was it failing health, bad luck, or was he silenced to keep the truth about Tupac's survival buried forever? Even his own colleagues admitted the timing was far too convenient, shutting down any chances for documents, tapes, or testimony to ever reach the public eye.